Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very, very warm welcome to Hayward Road up in Manchester, home of Sale FC. But today, our stage for two international games. First up, it is Sale 1861 women versus England deaf women. And then we're following that up with the Broadwater Cup at stake as England deaf rugby men take on Wales deaf rugby men, with the kickoff coming to you live at 4 p.m. Now, our pre-show has been slightly curtailed, but the teams are in the sheds. They're warmed up and ready to rumble. And Alex is up in the commentary box waiting to talk you through this match and the teams. Up to you, Alex.
Thanks, Joe. Yes, thanks for joining us here at Sale FC Rugby Club this afternoon for this England Deaf double-header at the Corpac Stadium. Two fantastic games coming your way, starting, as you say, with England Deaf women against Sale 1861 women, starting shortly. And then, of course, England face their Welsh counterparts at 4 o'clock in a repeat of a clash they had in January of this year, but exciting occasion for the club and the international sides as well. And in fact, Sale's general manager saying it's a real honour to be chosen to host these two fixtures, and hopefully we'll have people coming to create a bit of an atmosphere from Sale, Manchester itself, the Northwest and beyond. So as we wait to see the teams come out here, Sale against England in just a couple of moments' time. So let's take a first look then at the teams contesting this first game. So they're just in the changing rooms at the moment, pre-match. So first of all, starting with England deaf women, and they'll have Michelle Holsworth, number 1, Kat John, number 2, the hooker, Danny Dunkiert, joining them on the front row, and then Gloria Mills and Jenny Kingman, 4 and 5, the locks. Sian Watson at 6, Molly Hustle on the other side at 7, then Sophie Wright, the number 8, Gina Yakwanyello, 9, scrum half, Beth Cook, fly half, Ruth Dives, 11, Amy Whitaker at 12, Steph Hanratty is the England captain at 13, Sian Mills at 14, and Bex Francis at full back. Their substitutes then: Zoe Orbit, Leanne Barkley, Lynn Bryant, Beth Weller, April Platt and Fran Kyle. Then the hosts this afternoon, Sale 1861.
Please welcome to the field, Sale 1861
just coming out.
Women.
First of all, so they've got Keisha Hendricks, an English teacher, number 1, Amy Stanley, the hooker, Jess Randall joining them on the front row, then Kath Ansell and Alex Ogden at 4 and 5, Leanne Barkley, Katie Walsh, 6 and 7, Hayley Coots is the number 8. Kiva Harris is their captain today as England join Sale on the pitch now. The Kiva Harris, and Amy Wallace is the fly half, Nikki Cowell at 11, Megan Kirby, Hannah Birch, Helen Johnson and Charlotte Smith complete their defence. And we'll go through the substitutes in just a moment as
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with
the players just gather in the centre of the pitch. Now we're going to have a minute's silence here for the ex-England deaf head physio Mike Ho, who sadly passed away last month.
When the two teams will drop to one knee as a mark of respect.
So the minute silence there for Mike Ho, the former England Deaf head physio who sadly passed away, as I mentioned, last month. A fitting tribute there, respected by all the players from both sides, as we get ready to kick off this match shortly here at the Korpak Stadium. So you're watching live coverage here on BBC Sports. Sale in the blue and white, and England in the all white strip.
Okay, ladies, it's going to be blue and white. Okay.
So the first of two games, as I said, coming this afternoon. Later, England against Wales. But first of all, it's Sale 1861 against the England women's side.
Okay. Okay. Okay, no problem. That's okay. All right, thank you.
Decent weather conditions for a good game of rugby.
Ready, White?
A few clouds above us, but fairly clear so far. There was a cold chill this morning, but cleared away as the game is up and running then. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams start here. Great opportunity for a few debutants today to make their name in England colours. So Sale starting to build their first attack. Number 12, Amy Whitaker. Who's just tackled there. So Sale's trying to put on a bit of pressure in the early stages.
Use it! Thank you. Leave it four, leave it four. Thank you.
So Gina Iaquinello there with the pass. Experienced former police officer, in fact, now 46 years old.
Work your way in, work your way in.
No, leave it now. Don't compete, White. You got 6 off.
So the tackle there on the far side. Sale try and reset themselves to continue this first attack.
Thank you.
Making up territory in the England half so far.
Just be careful, 5. Keep it down. Thank you. No, leave the 9, leave the 9, leave it now. Thank you. Go backwards!
So
go backwards!
Sale just a fumble in possession there, but they do keep hold of possession. Stefan Ratti, the captain, charging through. On to Bex Francis. Sale have good numbers available to this right-hand side. Back with Amy Whitaker.
That's good, thank you.
Edging closer to the try line.
Tackle! Thank you. No hands, White, no hands! No lead!
Really strong start to this game for Sale, but no points on the board just yet for those in blue and white. So onto the far side.
Tackle.
Like Francis tackled there. Is there space on this left? Gloria Mills.
No, 6, high. Thank you. Just be careful, please. That seat belt over the shoulder, don't do that,
So a
please.
little bit of pressure early on
Thank you,
from the Sale 1861 side.
Use the 5. 5's your mark, okay? 5's yours, Dwight.
Getting the home crowd going early on.
Use the goal line. If you're not in the line, please use the goal line. How many in? Everyone in. Thank you. Yeah, what 5's there? 0 metres back. Thank you.
So Sale with this line out on the far side.
Stay. Now, more!
Ansell jumping there.
That's once! Use it now!
So England being worked really hard from the opening defensively. Good vision there from Amy Wallace. This is Megan Kirby. Can they regain possession? No. Good bit of defending from England.
Just lost forward by Blues and picked it up coming through there.
The
There's no
pressure
advantage
isn't
coming
over
off
just
that.
yet. Nearly
Lovely
4 minutes
scrum,
gone
white
here.
ball.
The Sale hosting the England Deaf women's side.
Right, on this, I want to see your feet square. I want to see your shoulders square. Don't care whether you're going forwards or backwards. If you're a prop, make sure you bind the
So the
bottom
first
of
of
the shirt,
two
top the
games
shorts.
here
Keep a
today.
Soft elbow, okay.
Live on BBC Sport.
Right, okay. Twos in, please. Sorry. No. Okay. Crouch.
So the scrum here
Bind.
with England in a bit of a precarious
Set.
position early on.
Get it in, please.
It's been
Nine,
all
hurry up.
Sale pretty much so far.
Hold on.
Bit of twisting there, but out come England still.
No, leave it, Blue. Leave it, Blue.
work
You
to
can't
do.
compete. There's something on the floor. Just let it out, please. Thank you.
Amy Whittaker there releasing the ball from the
Back
ground.
off. Hands off, Blue. Thank you.
Michelle Holdsworth of England there going charging in. And someone going to just relieve England. That was Sophie Wright, the Oldham player. So those in white really being hassled by Sale, the home side here. So the offload there towards Sophie Wright once more. At least it's towards the right-hand side where just a
Knock on.
slight
Scrum advantage,
fumble
Blue.
there.
Advantage over.
And Sale having to penned in once more. Fantastic opening so far for the hosts.
Right.
As I say, still no points on the board.
Okay, both sides, ladies, okay? Just keep the tackles down, nothing above the badge level. All right, thank you. Keep it below the badge. That's 13 white.
Well, interesting, Sale have one player, Leanne Barkley, who has played for England as well. And is in fact, I believe, in the Sale starting lineup, but also on the England bench, so she could feature for both teams in theory today.
That's your, sorry, that's your.
The sun comes out here
defense mark every time,
in
okay?
Sale.
So that's you. You're there. You're back here, okay? You're here. Yeah, no, thank you. Use the line. Goal line, please. Goal line.
So once
you.
again, on the far side with the line out, hoping for pinpoint accuracy. Kath Ansell once again jumping
Cross
there.
forward, scrum white. Right, we'll just come in a little bit from here, actually, because that's not very good surface, that. Okay. That was lost forward by Blue.
So we've seen an early bit of pressure from Sale. But now it's up to the England
Okay, twos in, please.
women
Full
to
side, twos
try
in.
and assert their own advantage in this game.
There you go, please. Right.
They're still
Crouch,
defending at
yep,
the moment.
Line on, please.
But they'll be hoping a chance
Bind.
for a chance to break free
Set.
following this scrum and try and get upfield.
Balls out, balls out.
So the ball still in the England defence
Go
under real
backwards,
pressure.
go backwards.
Passes
Upper leg, play on.
just coming off. It's back with Sale now in the centre.
No, leave it.
More
Don't
good
compete,
tackling
White.
by
Stay
England,
down,
but,
stay down, stay down, stay down.
Having to
Thank
do a
you.
lot of hard work to stop Sale getting through.
It's one too many. It's a high tackle. One too many, one too many.
A lot of experience in this England side. As I said, Gina Iaquinello, 46 years old, Lynn Bryant, also in her 40s on the bench.
Backhand, please. Thank you. Oh, hang on.
So just a bit of a stoppage
All right, sorry,
as we check the injury. I believe that's number 12, Megan Kirby of Sale. Looks to be okay. Continuing now back up on her feet. So 8 minutes gone here between Sale 1861 deaf women's side and the England international team. And the hosts, after an excellent opening, have a chance to open the scoring from this penalty. It's a good kick, and they do indeed go 3 points in front.
Penalty for 1861, scored by number 10, Amy Wallace.
So it's Amy Wallace. 1 out of 1 scored so far, and always so key that your fly half is good at kicking, as well as, of course, orchestrating the back line. They're the heartbeat of the side, and sometimes the most difficult player to stop, and the one that can be instrumental in making sure your team come away victorious. As we get restarted here, so will England be able to respond straight away? Again, getting stuck in to the tackles.
Tackle, thank you, that's good.
England's Hannah Birch there, stopping Sale from going forward as they try and regather. Great surge through the centre here, fantastic ball carrying.
Tackle now, thank you.
Sale have shown good vision, but once again, another charge. There's numbers out on that left-hand side still.
Our line's blue, just lost forward by blue here. Scrum white ball.
So Sale lead by 3 points. They've been the more impressive side so far.
Have you got a switch over?
I think the England player, they're just telling everyone to maintain their composure. They've been under the cosh
on the AR.
in these opening minutes. I think we're going to see a substitution. In fact, Sarah Methwen wearing number 20 there. Who's a PE teacher originally from Cumbria. Looks like she's come onto the pitch.
It's easy. Twos in, please. Twos in, please. That's good. Crouch. Bind. Set. Let's go.
So the ball fed in to this
Use
scrum
now,
by Hayley Cooch there, number 8 for England. And the international side will try and break forwards. As halted immediately there.
No, you can't get your
the
hands
short
in
crash
there.
pass.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Yeah. I didn't see it leave your hands. I didn't see you take the kick. Sorry. Well, it's a nice way of saying it didn't leave her hands. Yeah, that's fine. Just here.
The sun's gone out again, the wind's picked up.
Let's go, please.
The Sale are the ones with the momentum. And they're here on this left-hand side once more.
Tackle.
3 England players needed to momentarily halt their attack. So the ball ready to be released. And
Tackle. Thank you.
another charge through. Great energy and vision as well from those in blue and white. The favourites, you think, to score the first try of the day here. Over to 15, Charlotte Smith, now on this far side.
Hands away, White!
Tackling
Hands
there
off!
from
Hands
England.
off! Hands off! Thank you.
And Steph Hanratty, the captain.
Tackle, thank you. Just stay down 5, please. 5 White.
More good attacking
Going backwards.
until that just Bit of a fumble there from Sale, but they still have it.
Hands off now, White. No, you get your hands on the grass. Leave it, White. Don't come. No, hands on the grass. You're off your feet. Can't play the ball. Oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry.
So
Yeah.
composure needed from both sides now. Sale knowing they have a bit of a territorial advantage, but having not really pressed it home yet on the score sheet. And England
Sorry.
trying to relieve themselves
Post, yeah,
defensively,
sorry,
having
post,
to
yes.
work really hard and be incredibly organised early on. We are early in the game, but if Sale keep that up,
got
it's a
3
real
minutes.
test of stamina in the latter stages.
Oh, okay.
By the way,
No,
Philippe
it's just
Michel
they had her hands on the grass
was the
and
England
played
player
back.
who
I know,
went off
okay. I mean, I just don't have a problem with that. Just
a moment ago. So Sale have another penalty, and again it's Amy Wallace, and now it's a 6-point advantage over England here for the home side.
Second penalty for Sale, 1861.
So 2 out of 2
Amy Wallace.
for Amy Wallace, who actually works for a charity who works with kids from disadvantaged backgrounds.
Replacement for Sale as well. Leaving the field is number 11, Nikki Cowell, replaced by number 21, Bex Wilson.
And Sale are making a substitution. Nikki Cowell is coming off, the left winger, and I believe Bex Wilson has replaced her.
right. Tackle! Hands off, White! Hands off!
So now it's time to see whether England
Oh, sorry. It was tackle. That's
can
right.
deliver a
I said
response.
Hands off. I know. I shout as loud as I can. Sorry, ladies. Back 10, please.
That's a retreat.
Thank you. That's good.
10 metres now, so
Stay there, stay there.
Sale will restart play.
That's it, knock it in, knock it in. Let's go,
So pressure then.
Not help.
Really good vision, drawing defenders into the attack there.
That's good. Thank you.
It's number 15, Bex Francis there for England.
Yeah, sure. Tackle! Tackle! No, hands away! Hands away, Blue! Play the hands on the floor there. Hands out.
Been a good tussle so far. And England will have another chance.
Play on.
Surge through. The
Tackle!
body's in away once
Tackle!
more.
Tackle! Thank you. You're on. Okay.
We're seeing the first real
Tackle!
test of the
Good. Hands off! 6, go!
ability to stop England's
6,
attack.
play on the floor.
Albeit
Off you
not
go,
many
off you go.
gaps emerging at the moment. They do yet on this left-hand side.
Kick up.
Go! It's in touch, go,
Was Mark, play on.
Forward.
Go forward there.
Good idea, ladies, well done!
Molly. Rude shout, Molly. Sign to April, go straight.
Switch over. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
So a decent atmosphere picking up here with, I'm sure, friends and family and local supporters around the ground. But I know some people have come from as far as Cumbria.
Welcome back. Yeah, okay. Two's in, please. Two's in, please. Bind on, please. Crouch. Bind. Set. Stay in. Ball's out. Ball's gone. Just lost forward here by White. Scrum, blue ball.
Oh, lucky that, wasn't it?
Thank you. Don't know too many holes in the allotment.
Well, I'm delighted to say that England's Craig Monaghan joins me on co-commentary for the continuation of the game. Craig, what have you made of the early stages so far?
It's been a tough opening. It's been a very tough opening. I think nerves have probably rattled the England side at the minute. Obviously, Sale are very dominant at the minute, coming off the back of a lot of wins. So obviously the confidence is massively up. They're quite a well-drilled side, where England are obviously at the minute are now starting to come together. But certainly at the start, we're not well drilled.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sale certainly impressed in the way they came out the blocks, really raring to go, didn't they?
Yeah, they were massively, but obviously now they've lost like Nicky Cowell, but obviously Bex Wilson's come on, and they've lost a few players to injury. That you can see now it is starting to slow down for them, where England is just ramping up after following their yellow card. They see now they've got full 15 back on the pitch.
Scrum advantage blue for lost forward. No, don't do that, thank you. Right, just be very careful.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if England are able
Make sure you use your arms are good in there. Right.
respond to Sale opening out that 6-point lead. 2 penalties from Amy Wallace. And there were 2 fairly simple penalties, weren't they, in terms of getting those points on the board, but always important that your kicker does manage to do that and get a strong record to keep the confidence up from the off.
Yeah, definitely. I think Sale have got real good game management at the minute, so obviously the 2 kicks, she's got a hell of a boot on her anyway, but the 2 were quite 2 easy kicks, but they were 2 soft penalties given away by England, sadly, and hopefully we can build on from that.
Bind! Set! Let's go! Stay nice. Use it! Ball tight!
Yes, save it!
Oh, sorry. Tackle!
So nearly 20 minutes gone here. You're watching
Back foot, please.
Sale 1861 deaf women's side against the England international deaf women's side. Starting to get physical here. Hayley Coots there for England.
Tackle again, tackle. Hands off, no blue, no blue. Thank you, thank you. 1 goal.
So
careful,
Beth
offside.
Cook for England
Tackle
trying to build
now,
this attack.
thank you.
Well, you have to say, Craig, that England are battling in terms of trying to respond, not making up too much territory so far, but they're being persistent.
Yeah, definitely. They're falling a bit more into the shape, using the game plan a little bit.
Yeah, fantastic
obviously,
surge
you
here
could
from
see
England. Nearly the opening score. So unlucky there.
Yeah, that was great play by England then. And again, it just goes back to the now the nerves have settled slightly. They are settling into their structure quite well now, which is giving Sale a bit of a hard time at the minute.
Sorry, there's your mark. There you are.
Yeah, it was a good play there from Stefan Ratty
Yeah,
and
lost
Bex
forward by
Francis in
White.
particular
Scrum, blue
were
ball.
involved there for England. But they now find themselves in a much better position territorially, as we were saying.
Thank you, that's good. Yeah, hold there, thank you, that's good.
As the
Just
scrum will
untouched,
follow.
Judge, thank you. By Crouch. Bind. Set.
Be very surprised if Sale run this. I think they're more clear the lines.
Use it now. Ball's out. Ball's gone.
Yes, go on! Go on!
So drawing England players in there with the tackle
That's all right.
and the kick to relieve the pressure.
Fine. Okay. There's your
So
mark,
Sale
Blue.
leading
I'll give a defensive
6
mark every time. That's
to
your mark,
nothing.
okay?
If you just
You're
joined
on
us.
here. Who's front of the
There
line?
were 2
Okay.
penalties from Amy
That's
Wallace
your foot's on there. Thank you. White. Who's the front of the line? You're on here.
for the
You're
home
on
side
On here. Thank you.
in navy and
You make the
white.
gap, okay? Thank you.
So England will resume play with this line out here.
Stay.
just in front of our commentary position.
Tackle now.
So Keegan Morris, the number 9 there. Battling England captain today.
No, because you can't do that. You've gone off your feet. Gone off your feet. Two blue.
She tries and builds the
Play
attack.
On.
On to Megan Kirby. Just look how
Tackle
many
right.
Sale
No,
players are needed
from
to stop
behind.
her
Okay,
charging
thank
through. Back to Morris once again. It's a real sign
Tackle.
once the scrum
Stay down,
half
stay down.
starts to get on the ball and is able to pick out their passes. The team are growing into the game, isn't it, Craig?
Yeah, massively, and again it just follows. So they're just trying to draw in with the forwards. They're just trying to draw them Sale players in. As you see, he's taking 2 free to put them down, and then they're just going to try and float it
Scrum, white
outside where
ball.
there seems to be ample space at the minute.
Hey, Katrina, all right? You all right for? You all right? Okay.
Yes, I wouldn't maybe quite say Sale dominating the early stages, but they were the more confident team in the first few minutes, and now we're really seeing an England response.
Blue. Scrum, white
But
ball.
Sale, of course, have the points on the board, and that's often what's all important.
Who's in that, please?
Wait and see how the rest of this first
Crouch.
half pans out
Come on,
as the
please,
sunshine
crouch.
returns
Bind.
here in
What's
Sale.
going on here? Step. Right. Okay. Loose
So
head.
Morris waiting
No, loose head. You go in
with
the
his scrum,
inside.
hands on hips,
Tight head. She goes around the outside.
just to the left
You go
of the
inside.
referee.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. Let's still solve one problem at a time. Thank you. Right. Are you distancing? Are you okay here, ladies? Because that looks very close to me. Yeah. Thank you.
Overall,
Okay,
Craig, how would you
bind on,
assess
please.
what we've seen so far in this
Yeah,
first
thank
half?
you. Crouch.
In the first half, obviously Sale did come out of the gates.
Bind.
The better side. They were much more clinical. You could
Set.
see they fell straight into their structure.
Let's go
Very
now.
good, very disciplined. Where England probably just wasn't that disciplined in that
Ball's
first
out.
10, 12 minutes. A lot of penalties, a lot of high tackles and stuff. But I'd put that mainly down to sort of the nerves. And now they've seemed to have settled. It's now on the other foot. England seems to be the better side as it stands at the
Tackle,
minute.
no,
Although
hands
behind
up,
6
right.
points, but I'm
Thank you.
sure soon they'll clear that up.
England centre Hannah Birch there, just at the forefront of creating an attack. And tried the pass back, facing her own player, didn't quite come off, and that meant the move broke down there ultimately for England.
Right, you're here.
25 minutes gone.
One.
She's coming.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
This is the first game of a double-header here this afternoon, with England against Wales to come later on at 4 o'clock. So play resumes with the line out. Morris once again involved.
No, leave it blue. Just let them play it out, please.
Good tackling
Thank you.
again. Once again Morris in the thick of the action.
More!
Showed really good awareness of what's around her in the last few minutes, and that could be lucrative for England.
Scrum, blue ball, didn't come out of the ball. You okay? You all right? Well, take a
Well, the visitors are now showing the sort of character that we expected from them. Vizio's just taking
scrum anyway, restart
a
scrum.
look at this
blue ball.
injury. Can't quite see who the England player down is. Craig, you able to see?
No, I can't really sort of see. The ref literally he's just stood completely in my eye line at the minute.
Yeah, so just a bit of a stoppage in play here. But a chance really to consider, Craig, what a great opportunity it is for some of these England players to to showcase themselves on a stage, on a match that's being shown live to those watching, and of course test themselves against some top draw Sale players, some good quality opposition.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a fantastic opportunity, obviously, to sort of be on BBC and obviously to be up against just great competition in a great stadium. Obviously, being a Sale lad myself, it certainly is. It's always nice to come to Hayward Road and visit. It's always a good crowd, good atmosphere. Always It's always a good competitive sort of atmosphere, no matter who's playing. The good thing about this fixture row is obviously Sale women are very newly established, so they've got everything to sort of showcase, which will ultimately give England that extra challenge, that extra competition. So if England sort of put on a great show against them and show what they're really made of, play their structure, play with each other and play for the rows, it'll certainly be a great second half.
I love that, play for the rows. Well, also great for the club. You said you're a Sale lad yourself. It's the club that gets the chance to host 2 matches today, which is a bit of a coup for them as well. Bit of a concern though, the player, by the way, just out of shot, is still down, so we take a look at those who've gathered in the stadium.
Going off the socks of the player, it does look like it's a Sale player down, and Nikki Cowell's obviously just returned to the field of play, so I'm guessing it'll be a backs player that should replace it.
Yeah, we've had all seasons of weather today. It started off particularly frosty this morning as we were getting things prepared. But now the sun comes out, but still pretty good conditions. They're playing rugby, and not bad temperature for the middle of April. So this is a chance really for both teams, as you can see huddled there, to just reflect on the opening and work out what they need to do to get to half-time. Sale, of course, with that advantage intact, and build on it if they can. What sort of thing do you think the England coach will be saying there at this moment?
Having known Ben for quite a long time now, I can imagine the first thing he'll probably come on is just about composure. He'll be definitely talking about the players keeping the composure. Obviously, we've gone into the 22 now twice and not managed to sort of stick a point on the board, so we're not really converting those chances we are getting in the 22. So we'll certainly be telling them to sort of calm their nerves, play their game plan, but also we'll probably be obviously telling them just to enjoy it. Obviously, England Deaf Ladies is about enjoying the game, and that's what he'll be trying to push on them right now. Obviously, if you enjoy what you're playing, then you're going to play what you see, and then obviously it increases your chance of scoring.
I didn't wander too far off.
Well, the Sale player just coming off the field now.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. Just keep feet square.
Able to get up and walk off. Hopefully not too serious.
Yeah, loose as a bind on the inside. Okay.
As we get ready to resume play with the scrum here.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
With Sale feeding the ball in, leading by 6 points to nothing
No, stay!
against the
No!
women's Deaf side. Bit of a comedy moment there, just falling out the back of the scrum.
9 offside, 9 white offside.
Bit of laughter down below our commentary position. 27 minutes gone here. Well, a bit of a break in play can disrupt momentum. It was England who had the momentum,
Yeah, just
but
lost
perhaps
forward,
didn't
fumble
make
forward by
best
Blues,
use
scrum
of
white ball.
that opportunity when they were on top.
There you go. No, I know.
Craig, you hear so often in
in
sport, if you don't take those opportunities or that spell where you are the ones putting on the pressure, then it can sometimes
Twos in, please.
catch you out.
Yeah, 100%. And I think England will be hurting to sort of not convert those 2 breaks into the 22 both times. Both times we had space on the outside, and we were pretty much, it was just minor things that let us down. We shouldn't be dropping the ball and knocking on inside the 22, and I know being out there myself in previous times, and I certainly know myself, they'll be feeling that it'll be hurting, so hopefully they can use that to fuel a comeback.
One backwards.
Yeah, they might do so quickly now.
Tackle! Hands off now, Blue!
I think it was the first of those 2 big opportunities, really, where it looked very much like England were going to go through and score the first try of the game. Not so, though. Still plenty of time to do so. So the ball's released towards that right-hand side where England...
Tackle! Thank you.
Not quite finding the gaps that they would like at the moment. But still being persistent as ever. That's Michelle Holdsworth. The prop going in. The tackle there. Danny
No, leave it
Dunkiert.
blue! Leave it blue! Stay down, stay down.
The other prop. Morris. Sees numbers to the left-hand side.
That's fine, stolen by blue! Tackle! Leave it white! Hands off white!
Fantastic
Back
bit
foot,
of play
please,
there by
back foot,
Sale.
please.
Not let England come through. That hasn't paid off there with the kick. Stefan Ratti for England.
Tackle now.
Arm to arm with Sale, wins the ball back. Really key moment there. This could be over towards the right-hand side. Number 14 is Sean Mills.
Lost forward here by White. You've got a choice. You can
Good
have a
play
line
by
or
England,
scrum.
but
Scrum or
Sale
line.
are holding on at the
Okay,
moment.
scrum for lost forward, blue ball.
Very,
Lost
very
forward by
unlucky
White
by
here.
England then to not sort of just not to manage to get over the line.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
it,
see
yeah.
this great bit of play by Stefan Ratti, who's been one of England's better players so far. Was involved in both of those potential try-scoring opportunities a little earlier on.
Okay. Yeah.
So Sale lead by 6 points thanks to 2 Amy Wallace penalties early in the first half.
We need another player on. Well, any chance of it being like today?
Usually quite a lot of the time the ground.
Need a number 2, please.
So
All right,
just
gotcha.
break as we get ready to resume play. And Craig, you're a bit involved with the England setup. What's it like travelling to this sort of game
Scrum,
and
blue ball.
knowing that you're going to get the opportunity to put on the shirt once again, play for the Rose, like you said?
Crouch!
It's always the night before, which sort of gets quite nervous. You
Set.
have to obviously you got an early
Go nine,
meet
please.
in the hotel. You obviously you get together, you eat food as a team. You'll have
Keep
a
down.
team meeting. Sort of go through some game plans.
It's
Have
come
maybe a
out
quick
both
walk
sides,
through
it's come out both sides. I'll come this side,
depending on the
okay.
time and
Just
where
reset,
you're
same
at.
again, same
And
scrum
then
again.
it's sort of obviously then it's down to your own time. You'll go into obviously
can we
your room
just
with your
move slightly
roommate.
away? We'll just come slightly into here, actually, please.
It's
Okay.
sort of quiet time for yourself to sort of reflect, and that seems to be for me certainly. I don't really sleep that well the night before
Two's in,
a
please.
big game. Nerves settle in, but then I can sort of switch it on pretty much once I come onto the pitch.
Right.
I sort of try and get my nerves out early, so I know that's sort
Fine.
of pretty fluent throughout the England
Set.
setup.
Let's go.
Yeah, I join you in that. I could never sleep well before an early start.
Ball's out!
Another good win of possession there
No, hands
from
off.
Sale. And it's
Thank you.
interesting also that these players come from a variety of different backgrounds. We've got Gina Iaquinello of England, former police
Tackle.
officer, now a manager at John Lewis. Fran Carl, who's on the bench as a civil servant. So bringing everyone together from a variety of walks of life must be interesting.
No, there's somebody here.
So once again, it's a case that England have gained territorially, but still the hosts, Sale, leading on the score sheet here. And you'd have to say that the hosts, I guess, would be the happy of the two teams so far, despite the fact that England, as we've seen, have had some good play.
We'll restart blue scrum.
Definitely,
Okay.
Sale should be feeling quite fresh-legged. You'll certainly, if you're Bex Wilson on one wing and now you've got Nikki Cowell over on the other wing, they'll be chomping at the bit to try and get some ball time. Both unreal wingers, but could potentially be a bit of a hazard towards England. But England at the minute are just are quite dominant, which helps.
Sale will be most worried about stopping? What do you think their game plan will be? They do lead at the moment.
Well, 5 minutes to half time, so I'll just restart.
Sale won't want to really play rugby with inside their sort of 22. Probably I'd even go as push as far as inside their own 40. They'll obviously try, and if you've seen twice when they've been given a chance, they've cleared their lines. Like any sort of side, you don't really want to be playing rugby in your own half. And Sale's philosophy from the men and the women is both, we'll rather defend in their half than defending our own. So that's certainly what they'll be looking to sort of do, is to play less rugby down here, more down there, even if it's defensively. So this will be quite a pressure situation for Sale, is the fact that England are so often within their own 22.
Crouch.
It's interesting you say that Sale developed a sort of philosophy throughout the club across the men's and women's sides. Sale come out from the scrum with the ball. Immediate pressure put on by England, as we've come to expect so far. 32 minutes gone. So once again,
that's right.
Charging through.
Just play on.
But well tackled by England.
Tackle!
Keisha
Leave
Hendricks.
it, White! No, don't compete, White! Stay down,
Herself,
stay down,
in fact,
White.
an English teacher who lives in St Helens. The partner of Sarah Methwen. So in the Sale squad.
15. 15.
Sale do have some great players who've shown real strength so far. Interesting to see whether they keep that up, because there will be a test of stamina, certainly in the second half. But we were talking about the England dangers, but Sale have some real threats too, don't they?
Come on. Enough chit chat. Let's get cracking, please.
England have got some key players. Jenny King, Mern, both wingers, the fullback, really good. Obviously, Stefan Ratty is amazing, but when you look at Sale, you've got Bex Wilson, Premiership player, Nikki Cowell played at a high level too, just in the backfield. I've seen both of them play in real good games this year, and both have been unreal. I think in the game I watched, Bex Wilson score 4 tries against Crewe Nantwich, which was obviously, and she carved it up pretty well.
Let's go.
Yeah, we'd certainly welcome some try scoring here. Fairly even match-up so far. So England on this right-hand side, charging through with good pace. Having got the vision to match.
Tackle!
Try and work an opportunity.
No, hands off, Blue. Thank you. That's good.
Defenders
good
being
play.
drawn towards the ball, released once more.
Ball's out! Ball's out!
Very at the minute, England are very dominant, and they just need to sort of get it out sort of down here to the left. There's a lot of space on the left, and I do rate with dives. With the pace as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is the sort of stage where they need the key players to sort of step up and be counted, and just either finish an opportunity or give them something that will improve and increase their belief that they've shown so far.
Yes, certainly, and I think sort of between sort of Ruth and Bex, they certainly are born finishers. They finished in their club games quite regular. They finished it within previous England games too. So once they sort of get that flow, find the depth, I think they'll be in for a rack of tries, hopefully.
It'll be a restart, White ball from a scrum over here.
Yeah, I think you'd bank on England in the warm weather, having some cool heads. Stefan Ratty, well involved so far. Just unfortunate from England perspective that they weren't able to get any points on the score sheet. So another player down just there on the far side. So England have had plenty of opportunities, as have Sale, to just think through the game as it progresses. So yeah, England, Ben Mosley, they're just talking to a couple of his players. Molly Hustle is one of them. So yeah, another chance, Craig, for him to give a bit of advice, as we can see down there, close to the touchline.
Yeah, I think it's probably more a confidence chat that he's having. The players, some of the players are not looking too rattled, but they're obviously, it's like anything. Certainly when I play in club games or international games, you drop the ball a few times, or you're sort of on the back foot and being dominated. The nerves sort of, you do start questioning yourself. You get a bit more nervous, and I think that's where Steph and Ben, that's where their focus needs to be at the minute, is settling the players and keeping that structure. Obviously they lose the structure, Sale just become that dominant side again, and that's not what we want.
Yeah, you mentioned Steph, that's Stephanie Veal, who's the head coach here at Sale, the hosts. So wait to restart play in a moment's time. Just applause for the player who's again managed to get up and walk off. Is she okay to continue? In fact, we'll wait and see.
Scrum, white ball.
1 minute left, girls, come on!
Yeah, 1 minute. 40. Yeah,
it looks like it was Kiva Morris, the captain, and
if you've got a date. There you go.
Certainly, I'd be looking at isolating Nikki Cowell there on this left side. Ample space. 15's quite far over to the opposite wing, so certainly pace. Maybe if you went off the 8 to 9, then out to if you probably isolate Nikki and she can only hit one of you. It'd be perfect 3-on-1 there.
Use it 9-9, use it 9. Thank you.
So let's see what England can do in the remaining minutes of this first half.
Sorry.
Trying to find space on the right-hand side.
Tackle! Thank you.
Again, England need to just use this space that keeps showing up on that left side. If you look now, we've got huge amounts of space.
Fantastic break here. Looks like Molly Hustle.
Let's go, Sale!
Tackle!
Yellow. Michelle Holdsworth going in there.
Tackle! No hands!
Danny Dunkett, the other prop.
No, just use it wide, it's available.
So England showing their strength and in numbers here.
Oh, sorry.
They try and just reset and hold their shape and hold this attack and continue to be persistent in building their attack in order to try and get some points on the board. Over to this left-hand side now. And Stefan Ratti is once again. Will release Kingman. Beth Cook, Yaquinello in a real tussle here. Cap John will give it to Holdsworth. Once again, unwilling to be stopped.
Don't compete, Blue. Thank you, that's good.
Danny Dunkett and Amy Whittaker now charging through.
That's fine. Not held. Tackle, no!
A real concerted effort from England, who are showing great cohesion in the latter moments of this second half.
Sale's line speed's just been unreal at the minute, to knocking us back on the gain line every time.
Well, that means at half-time, it's Sale 6.
It's half-time. Half-time, yeah, half-time.
England 0. Sale with 2 scores from 2 penalties from Amy Wallace.
Half-time here at the Corpac Stadium.
Early on here, England trying to respond. Lots of concerted pressure. Stefan Ratti involved, Bex Francis as well. They had 2 great opportunities to try and score, but unable to. Some great defence from both teams as well. relieving the pressure, stopping the opposition from getting through, but there's been no shortage of effort. Fantastic opening from Sale, the hosts. Even though England tried to respond, they can't quite get on the score sheet just yet. Plenty of words of advice to come from Stephanie Veal, I'm sure, the home coach, as well as Ben Mousley, the England head coach. And we'll have to wait and see how the second half pans out. But now, though, at half-time, it's Sale 1861-6, England Def 0. So let's get a bit of half-time thoughts and reaction. Joe is pitch side with you now.
Well, welcome down to pitch side, guys. And for a 6-0, it's a cracking old game. Sale with the early pressure, yielding those 2 penalties, going through the poles, taking them up to 6-0. But it's been all England in that first half. And you've got to wonder, are they going to be ruining the missed opportunities and the possession that they've had during the game when it comes to the final reckoning?
Yeah, I think they're going to be hurting after not converting those few opportunities that they just had in the 22. Obviously, you've got to be clinical in them areas. I know certainly that's what's going to be getting spoken about now. It's a tough pill to swallow, that really, that they didn't convert them sort of chances. Obviously, Sale were good as well. They were great in their first 12-15 minutes, quite dominant. Their line speed's unreal, as we've just seen in their last sort of couple of minutes too.
Okay, so that's Craig, whose voice you'll recognise from being up in co-commentary. We've also got Paul Kelly here, who's chairman of rugby at Sale FC. Paul, what do you reckon of that half for your girls? They'll be pleased coming out unscathed.
Definitely be pleased. As Craig said, the first 10 or 15 minutes they were a dominant side, played well in 22. Since then, England have been on top, but the defence has been really good. And fortunately, England have made some sloppy handling errors when they've had the chances on the outside. So, but it's been a good game, very physical game. A lot of injuries, but it's been good. You know, as our girls will be happy with defence, but so they need to get more and get on the attack again, and just start to keep hold of that ball. They were spilling the ball too much, just not retaining possession, and it's all about possession really. At the end of the day, rugby, you've got to have the ball to win it.
Well, you said it. It's been a hugely entertaining game, but also absolutely brutal out there. A yellow card early, which was the opening for Sale to get those 6 points. A lot of injuries, a lot of big hits. But one thing that stuck out for me is both teams refusing to kick. No pragmatism at all. Both sides are here to play.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Sale tried to clear the lines a few times, but England sort of are preferring to seem to try and run it out of their own 22 and stuff, which just shows the sort of fight. They want to keep that ball in hand and sort of try and muscle them out the way.
Yeah, probably guilty of maybe trying to play the ball a little bit too much in those opening salvos, hence they find themselves 6 points down. But from an attacking point of view, it's tempo, 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 and it's coming from the ex-captain who has come out of retirement for this game, Gina Yaquaniello.
Yeah, definitely. Gina has always been a good 9, always been a fast tempo 9, and I think sort of it showed sort of in the key moments as we broke into their 22. She certainly ramped the tempo up, and she was very quick in getting that ball out, which obviously everyone knows sort of 90% of your ball play comes from that 9, so it's important that they are pretty on point in terms of tempo.
Well, that is the referee blowing the whistle to commence the second half shortly. So, Paul, a last word from you. How are you going to get your girls on the ball and attacking and out of their 22? They've been manacled there for the last 30 minutes.
I think the patterns have been good. It's just using the space. The Hayward Road pitch is a big pitch, and we've got pace on the outside. We just need to use that, get the ball out wider, quicker, instead of move it away from the ruck and from the physical area and get into that space in the wide channels.
Well, we're looking forward to catching up with both of these guys at the end of the game, because Sale FC, their women, is a fascinating story. It's their first year since they've been formed, not in a league at the moment. They've been playing games, only friendlies. This is a huge contest for them today and a massive scalp if they can take down England Deaf women. And of course, Craig will be back for a bit of analysis. But for now, it's back up to Alex in the commentary booth.
Joe, thank you, and we're ready for the second half here. Great to get a bit of half-time insight from both an England and Sale perspective from Craig and Paul. But the teams are out and ready. And we had the privilege, I think, of seeing the teams huddle at half-time rather than go back into the dressing rooms. So the referee poised.
Yeah, doesn't help.
Gina Iaquinello
Right, you ready, Blue?
ready to kick. So Iaquinello, who Joe said has come out of retirement for this game, the former police officer, now a manager at John Lewis. And it's England who have a deficit that you think they're very much capable of making up in the second half. So a yellow card in that first half. 2 penalties scored by Amy Wallace. And a couple of knocks.
Okay, ready, ladies?
Physios
Crunch.
regularly on the pitch.
Bind. Set.
And we restart here
Hurry up, please.
with this scrum, fed in by Helen Johnson
Ball's gone.
for Sale. And away once more, as she has done so often, is Susie Roberts. Now Megan Kirby. What a run through this is. England just about able to stop as Stefan Ratti
Back foot, please.
aids the cause.
No, stay. Thank you.
Once again, Susie Roberts. So far, Sale starting the second half like they did the first.
Fine. That's good.
So Hannah
Scrum
Birch
advantage.
for Sale.
Knock on from Blue, then lost forward by White. First knock on by Blue, scrum White ball. It is.
So Craig has rejoined me in the commentary box. Lovely bit of half-time insight there.
I think I made a mark. I didn't make it.
And we wait and see what this second half will bring. But once again, it was
that's good.
great running there from Megan Kirby
Seconds in, please. 2's in.
on that right-hand side.
Okay. Crouch. Bind. Set.
As we cut back to the live action.
Balls out.
Iaquinello busy once again. And her vision and awareness in picking out passes could be crucial to England working their way back into this
Tackle
game.
now. Tackle now. That's it. Good. Well played. Go. Tackle.
Michelle Holdsworth going in like a battering ram,
Don't compete.
as she did so often in the first half.
Oh, hang on. Are you all right? All right. Hang on. No, it's not. It's just going to be a scrum white ball. Okay. Yeah, because I stopped the game.
Well, Craig, even though this is a friendly match, of course,
right.
both teams have shown a real competitive edge so far, and that's made it a close game, but also a pretty exciting one to
Scrum
watch.
white ball, please.
Yeah, certainly. It has been very enjoyable. Opened really fast that second half too. So if that tempo remains, we're looking for a fantastic second half.
Yeah, we'd love to see some good fast and loose rugby. Let's see
Bind.
what happens here
Set.
from the
Let's go
scrum.
quickly now. Balls out. Balls out.
So hook back and out once more. England trying to build. They have numbers on the right. Stefan Ratti
Hi, lads. Just lost
couldn't
forward
keep hold of
by
the ball. Just
13 wide.
apologising to her teammates there. I'm
We
sure
love
they'll
these
let their
scrums,
captain
don't
off.
Blue ball. There we go. Just use that mark there. That's it, mark.
Well, it's up to these forwards from these positions, particularly in the second half, to really continue to relish that head-to-head physical contact from the scrum.
Crouch.
Get back.
Bind.
Such important
Set.
skill to be able to maintain that upper body strength,
Balls out.
and really your muscles are beginning to tire.
Tackle.
Megan Kirby at the heart of things once again
9.
for Sale. She's really impressed with her pace so
Not
far
10.
involved in the attack.
Not 10.
Number 16 is Susie Roberts.
Advantage. So sorry.
And a difficult one to stop so far.
Advantage over!
They'll have number 3 on this right-hand side. This could be a scoring opportunity if they get closer. And now those in blue and white reset and look at their options to continue this attack as the wind just picks up here inside the Kolpak Stadium.
Go backwards!
So Sale just about keep possession now on this left-hand side. And it's the first try for the hosts. A fantastic opportunity they had on the moment on the right, but working it down the field, they managed to exploit England's defence in a way we haven't seen so far. And Sale scored the opening try, so they go 11 points in front now. Well, that's interesting, Craig, because Sale started the second half the way they did the first, and perhaps, given England's response, we didn't quite expect that, but the hosts will be delighted to now lead by 11 points.
Yes, certainly. I didn't really expect Sale to come out and sort, even though they started strong, I didn't expect them to come out and score, but that's pretty much what happens if you do give Bex Wilson 5 metres of space, or less than 5 metres. She only needs about half a metre, but they gave her a good 5 metres of space, and that just shows what the ex-GB athlete can sort of do.
Yeah, very impressive from Bex Wilson. Wow.
That makes the current score
Quite
Sale 1861-11.
a lead now for Sale. 11 points to 0 over England. So now the task becomes greater. Still, it's one England will be confident they can try and challenge, and they do have the quality, certainly, but how do they now respond to this?
Obviously, being 11 points behind isn't ideal. It's not great. It will be interesting to see what England's plan is now to sort of solve, like, their Sale now will use that as momentum, but England sort of just need, even if they just get 3 points, certainly it'll bring the confidence back within the squad.
Yes, as Joe was saying, Sale are a developing side, playing friendlies, and well, this could be a crucial stage in their development if they manage to pull off a victory against the England F women's side. But
hands off, Blue! No!
Still much of the second half remaining. So England now try and build themselves another opportunity. Michelle Holdsworth once more.
Tackle! Thank you!
Fantastic tussle between her and Keisha Hendricks. Two of the most powerful players on the pitch. Fantastic block. And Sale win back the ball. Once again, Bex Wilson is on this left-hand side. This time England
No, it wasn't.
deal and close down that gap.
There's your mark. No. It was fine.
Well, Craig, another warning sign for England. If they do
There's your mark.
they go all out on the attack, what can happen
Sorry.
if Sale are there to press?
Yeah, I think certainly in the second half, I think now the confidence is booming and fitness is obviously fitness at Sale is really good, and I think you just need to watch them wingers, because they've used Bex once, they tried to use her a second time. You've still got Nikki out on the other wing. I think they're going to be a real threat this second half towards England.
Yeah, England players just having another chance to discuss what happened there. Out of shot, there's a player down, but
That's Vapona that kills blue balls and all kinds of that.
just focusing for the moment. The players, I was going to say come out for the second half, but they remained on the pitch, and just a few minutes later, stoppage in play. Lots of chances to reflect on how the game is going, and it's going very well for the Sale side in navy and white. So the line-out will come from the hooker Kat John for England. Taken down and into the hands of Sophie Wright.
Tackle now! Don't compete, please, Blue! Leave it,
Van
Blue!
Kyle, the England substitute there on the ground. Jack Quinello involved.
Tackle.
So England trying to organise their shape on that left-hand side. Steph Hanratty.
Tackle now.
There's two Sale players straight away right in her face. Now England trying to find a gap on this left-hand side, but Sale are working really hard.
Yeah, thank you. Line out, blue
to stop
ball.
England from really penetrating, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly. England are really trying to sort of play to try and get the ball downfield to play in their half.
Yeah, sorry. Right, you're there. Okay.
Against a very, very good Sale defence at the minute.
Excuse me, what time did this half start?
Here we go, ladies. Come on, let's
Yeah, it's up to
please.
England to really be persistent now, isn't it? And just
Here you go.
know confidently what they're capable of. Just sort of summon every bit of
Take a step,
experience they
please.
can from the likes of
Thank you.
Gina Iaquinello.
No, stay. That's a maul. Stay, stay.
So a real good tussle
Ball's
here
out. 9
from the
o'clock.
line out. Sees Sale come out with possession. Wilson is available, but the ball just dropped there.
It's nice to see Sale make a
that's
very rare mistake.
lost forward to
Let's
start
just
with,
hope England
a
can
bit
get
of
something off
shambles,
the back
ladies.
of this now.
Yeah, lost forward, yeah. Scrum white ball. Lost forward by blue. Scrum white ball. Much better, last couple. There you go. All right, thank you. Right. Still cheeky enough though. Right, okay, still cheeky enough, good to see. Yeah. Right, crouch! Bind!
So the knock-on
Set.
gives England the opportunity from the scrum.
Balls out, balls out!
And away they come, trying to show a bit of pace immediately. Another slightly wayward pass, too high there.
No! No, it's all right, it's okay. We'll go for the original one, actually, we just lost forward here. Okay. In the tackle. It's just another scrum. I know how much you like them. On yours. There we go. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Scrum, blue ball.
I think being so far down and playing a lot of rugby this second half in their own half, England just needs to try and keep their heads up a little bit.
Thank you, that's good.
And just try and enjoy it, and enjoy the
There's your
experience
mark.
and enjoy
Thank
the
you.
crowd. And
Right. Crouch!
and hopefully
Bind.
just try and be a little bit more dominant,
Set.
work on that line speed a little bit, and I think they might they'll have this centre partnership that Sale have going in their
Balls
pocket.
out!
Let's wait and see. So Wilson, who
Scores here, forward
scored
here by blue.
the only try of the game we've had
Come on,
so
ladies.
far.
Yes, surprisingly enough, it is, yeah.
Possession there
Scrum,
momentarily.
White ball. If you catch the ball, catch the ball. yeah, please. Right.
So you're watching live coverage of Sale 1861
in, please.
against the England Deaf Women's international side here at Sale FC
Crouch.
Rugby Club.
Bind!
The Callback Stadium on Hayward Road.
Thank you. Set!
And Sale, our host, lead by 11 points to nothing, but it doesn't quite tell the full story because England at times have had the lion's share of possession. As Craig mentioned earlier, they're playing for the Rose and they do have the quality to try and get back into this game. Let's see if they can do it. Good pace shown there on the right hand side.
On me, right. I think it's on me, Mark. Unless you flag
Yeah,
there.
England were unlucky then.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. Here you go. That ball, you two it in. Yeah. There you go. It's definitely one or the other. Right, here we go. Blue. No, you're on it. You're on it. Sorry. There you go. You're there.
So 53 minutes gone here as we wait for the line out from Amy Stanley there, just down by the touchline, taken down.
Off her
I'm
leg.
going to say well by Sale.
White ball. White ball.
Not
Yep.
able to catch,
Yeah. Kicked in by blue. White ball. Okay, blue.
so concedes possession.
Yeah. There's your mark. There you are. You're on here. You're here. Just end that white line, okay? End of the white line. Yeah. That's good where you are. Thank you. Let's go. Crack on.
So much more promising this time from the lineup from an England perspective. On this left-hand side, Sian Mills, number 14.
Great play that then by England. Obviously, unfortunately, support didn't get there on time, obviously resulted in a turnover. But showing some real skill there, Sian Mills did.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, really, from an England perspective, from your perspective, in the sense that we've seen flashes of real quality from England, but not quite as clinical as Sale, and they're facing some real tough opposition who, as we said, are a developing side, are playing friendlies, and look to be a real quality one.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams obviously are very high level. As mentioned, Sale have got some prem players in their team. England obviously have got some high level players. Sale obviously been together now a year. This actual England squad that's formed today has only been together for a week, so although they are good and their skill set is brilliant, they obviously, this is the first time a lot of them have played together. There's a few who are out trying out new positions.
Yeah, we may yet see them sort of gel as the game progresses. There certainly has been some element of that. We experienced it, Gina Iaquiniello, Michelle Holdsworth, Oldham ladies, who's
no, don't compete! Leave it, Blue!
Had a boot to the head while playing, an injury that resulted in some hearing loss.
Tackle! Thank you.
But a very, very effective player she's been so far, one of England's best. Showing real strength so far. And it's a real tool when the forwards are able to receive short crash passes, go in like a battering ram and create gaps for others to exploit.
That's right, Blue.
And that's been the sort of job that Holdsworth have been doing, but a real chance now for Sale. On the right-hand side, England trying to do all they can, the last line of defence here. Facing calls to go wide as they reset and try and keep up this sustained spell of pressure.
Thank you.
It's a big defensive test this now for England, making sure that line speed's bang on, making sure they're getting around the corner.
That's fine, just play on.
Sale just about keeping hold of the ball.
To the middle, that's okay, play on.
Bex Wilson, the scorer, was on it just a moment ago.
Tackle! Thank you, 21.
They're trying to get numbers onto this left-hand side. Back it goes to the right again with Wilson. Well, my goodness me, England living on by the skin of their teeth here.
No, 6-1 half dozen of the other. Scrum attacking ball. Okay,
as you said, a real test of will and strength. Because Sale are very much poised to build on that advantage. Already 11 points. Just look at Wilson charging through.
Hugely strong player. She's had a great season in the Prem this year. Bex Wilson has, and obviously it's very evident there. It's nice to see England's line then hold on and hold it up over the line. It'd be very interesting. It'd be very interesting now to sort of see the defensive structure of a scrum on the 5 metre there.
Okay. Crunch. Bind.
Yeah, as a result, you can see that Molly Hussle grabbing hold of the shirt of Bex Wilson, that last-ditch attempt.
No, you're right.
To stop her going free and scoring a try. Morris. Just cutting inside there. England still holding on.
Tackle.
Sale looking incredibly strong. Wilson popping up on the right-hand side
now.
Seems to be everywhere for those in navy and white.
Here, thank you.
Sale being cheered on by the home faithful.
Back foot on the line.
So close, so close to their second try. And they do press home that advantage. In the end, England just caving a little to sustained pressure. It looked all the more likely that Sale would do so.
Yeah, England were just very, very unlucky there. They defended that from the scrum really well. They shut Nikki Cowell down very good. Obviously, she did receive a bad pass, but he shut her down quite good. Stopped Bex Wilson from moving anywhere in that second, when she popped up on that second side. He was just very, very unlucky to sort of concede then.
Yeah, just trying to see who got the final touch there.
Scored by number 20, Sarah Methven.
Sarah Methven getting the final touch. A few Sale players had a real opportunity to do so, as you said. Bex Wilson involved once again. Looks like Katie Walsh was one with the sort of final pass, if you like. And just squeezing over the line, Sarah Methven, who's a PE teacher, who scores Sale's second try this year.
Yeah, I'll call her out. Well, yeah, air definitely out, no question about it. But if it's sitting there at the back and 9 hasn't picked it up, it's probably
ideally on this now, England really do need to sort of get that next score on the board. Just sort of more of a confidence thing. But with to be one really sort of chance of sort of trying to put Sale to bed today.
I know.
Do you think there might be a change or two tactically for England in order to see whether they can try and ask Sale a few different questions?
Yeah, well, going off that scrum that Sale just had on the 5 metre, it looked like Molly Hustle had been moved to 9 and Gina into the centres. So whether that's sort of a permanent change or it's just one for them, I'm unsure.
Just lost forward by.
Yeah, so Sale, of course, now lead by 16 points. So nothing on that score sheet, which... do you feel that's a little harsh on England? Does it sell the true story of the game?
There's
It's a very harsh scoreline. Sale deserved to be more points in it. The score definitely doesn't reflect what we've seen. England have been the more dominant side for quite a large part of the game. It's only when they have sort of let it slip that Sale have just capitalised on it. But Sale have just been clinical in the points of the game where it's been needed.
Yeah, and the key word you used there was clinical, I think, in terms of Sale finishing off their opportunities that unfortunately from England's perspective they just haven't managed to do. Molly Hustle there, living up to her name. So once again, England, having made up some territorial advantage, find their opponents, the hosts here, Sale, back trying to build an attack. Fantastic strength once again by the number 16, the tall, powerful Susie Roberts. Kick up field to relieve a bit of pressure. Important decision-making time now here.
Advantage still on it. Penalty advantage, not getting back 10, please, from the mark. Need to get back 10.
So 62 minutes gone. It's that stage of the game where we said the fitness starts to become more of a key factor. Craig, do you reckon fitness and stamina is something where Sale have a bit of an advantage, or is it difficult to say?
I think both sides are very fit. Obviously, Sale are doing a lot of conditioning on at the minute. Obviously, they have got the use of a performance centre. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be fitter. It just gives them that little bit of an extra advantage. Obviously, they are still a very new side, and obviously all the England players, when they're back at their clubs, are probably on conditioning programmes themselves. So it's really hard to tell. Certainly, as it stands at the minute, I think it boils down more less than fitness and just more who's more disciplined. Sale not really gave away too many penalties, where England have gave away some very easy penalties that they shouldn't really be doing.
No, it's Maul, not quite to the floor yet.
Yeah, so holding the shape, just as important then. Wilson involved once more, but not as clinical this time around. Conceding possession to Molly Hustle.
Hands away, leave it blue now, leave it
It was
blue.
key to stop Wilson
Advantage
scoring a
over.
second try moments before Sale, in fact, did manage to capitalise
Tackle!
and extend their advantage to 16 points now.
It's quite interesting when you look at Sale's defensive structure. They're leaving two pretty much in the backfield, which is quite bold considering England are not kicked over the top of them.
No, leave it blue!
Game, so
Leave it
I'm just
blue!
wondering what their thought
Get
process
bodies
is
all over the place
behind
there.
that.
It's a mess.
Iaquinello challenged when she was trying to pick out a pass.
You need to release and then get back on side, come back in again. Has to be a clear release. Sorry, 7. That's behind me. I need to see what's going on. I know that's twice. Not every time.
The frustration from Molly Hustle. She'd shown good pace there.
There's your mark. There's your mark. There's your mark. Yeah, I didn't see it because I was telling someone off. It's not my fault, sorry. Yeah.
So Hustle resumes play. Michelle Holdsworth goes in
Tackle!
once again. No letting up in her strength and stamina shown so far, as you'd expect. Iaquinello. Steph Hanratty
Held.
gets back up on her feet. Still going, Hanratty.
Hey, tackled. Thank you. That's good.
Captain's example there.
Off her
Just
feet. Play
fumbled
on.
past
Play
her,
on.
unfortunately. Not able to build on that. Sean Mills.
Tackle. No.
Real tight play
No,
in
you
the
can't go off
centre
your
here,
feet.
but
Play the ball, okay?
real
Sorry
power
about that. Off your
from
feet, play the
Sale.
ball. One wide. Thank you. Where's your mark? Sorry, there's your mark.
The likes of Hendricks and Roberts in particular just really haven't stopped.
I won't be imagine.
Now Sale just relieve a bit of the pressure, and they have an opportunity now to be the side
22.
pressing home their advantage. Step it up, the chant, the words from
There's your
the
mark, right?
sidelines here.
Use the blue line.
Just
blue,
unfortunate at the
marker,
minute
please.
for England. Obviously, the last sort of 5 to 10 minutes have been very much Sale. And England's head seems to sort of have slightly.
Yeah, that's good. Blue
England's
line.
head seems to have slightly dropped. They didn't cover that sort of kick to the line then, or anything. So I just hope they can pick it back up in this. Obviously, a great take then by England. So hopefully they can clear the lines down and start playing run rugby down their field. We'll be in with a bit of a better chance.
Tackle now. That's off foot. That's okay. Tackle. No.
Yeah,
Hands
hope
off,
isn't
Lewis.
quite
Yeah,
lost
thank
for
you,
England, but as you
Still in,
said,
still in,
thinking
still
about
in.
the sort
My ball's gone.
of steps that are needed to mount a comeback.
Tackle. Thank you. That's good.
Using
Thank
all
you.
their experience, maintaining the shape. Good vision, good awareness from the likes of Iaquinello.
Not yet. No. There's only one of them. You need 2 players in there for that.
But there's no letting up in Sale's strength either. Holdsworth goes in for the tackle.
Yeah.
And England
Play on.
have to retreat as Sale trying to build the attack on this right-hand side, charging through. A chance of a third score here.
Held up.
Keep going, Sale!
Oh. Oh. Is it all right?
I didn't mean it.
No. It was.
So the England player just down there looks like Molly Hustle.
Time left is 11 minutes. All right, no problem. 11 minutes.
So just another break in play here. Sale, though,
Okay.
territorially, had built up quite an
Come up in
advantage
goal.
there. Craig, did you manage to catch what happened
Blue
there?
ball. On the 15.
I didn't really see it then. It just seemed to have happened pretty sort of quickly.
Yeah, Molly Hustle back on her feet.
Okay, 2's in, please.
Sale with the advantage.
Okay, ladies, ready? Crouch. Bind.
They lead by 16
Set.
points to nothing here with 68 minutes played.
Ball tight.
So the ball fed out to the scrum to Morris. Tries to play the 1-2.
Forward or lost forward. You take a pick out of that. Scrum white ball.
England head coach Ben Mosley
Okay.
just
Who's in, please?
prowling, walking back and forth along the touchline, hoping
Thank you.
that his team
Crunch.
still have something left to
Bind.
give
Set.
in the remainder of this second half.
7. Balls out. Balls out.
England under real pressure, but not scared to play it out from defence.
No, leave it. No. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Yeah. That's fine. Not
So,
10.
Following this game, by the way, England against Wales. 4 p.m. kickoff. Stay tuned for that. But the women given the chance to shine here early on against this Sale side. That's the hosts who've been really impressive so far. England, as we said, has shown flashes of quality, but they just haven't been as clinical in finishing off their opportunities. A couple in the first half, particularly with Steph Hanratty and Bex Francis involved. Great edging forwards there by April Platt, trying to get every sinew, every centimetre that she can on the pitch. Yaquiniello turns and tries to keep hold of the ball.
More! More! No, that's on the ball.
As the ball continues.
Ball's not coming out of there. Right. Take it in by White. No, please.
England were very unlucky there.
Yeah, Sale just incredibly persistent once again, drawing applause from those watching on the sidelines. There's been no shortage of effort from the likes of Yaquiniello. Chances just haven't quite come off. So I guess it's a case of keeping heads held high until the final whistle and seeing what opportunities they can create. Because Sale might think they have this match won.
There. Sit the other side.
Still a bit of time left on the clock.
Crunch. Bind. Set.
So the ball fed in once again. Sale's scrummaging has been pretty textbook so far.
You stay square without having to make it. Just say same again, please. Okay, there's your mark. It's on this drain mark here.
Battling against a particularly strong England front row. Holsworth, John and Dunkett.
Okay. Okay, ready? Crouch.
It's up to those behind them to really be the engine room of the scrum.
Ball tight.
Work on that accuracy and timing of getting the ball out, and it's Sale who've done that well. Bex Wilson once again has been the one to really put England in danger so far. Fantastic finishing ability that we've already seen.
Blue.
So Sale have numbers free on this left-hand side. Keisha Hendricks shrugs off a couple of white shirts.
High tackle over here. Penalty blue. 13 white.
Who would you say, Craig, has been the most impressive players from a Sale's perspective? There's a few that you could highlight. Certainly Keisha Hendricks shown incredible strength and resilience so far.
Yeah, definitely Keisha's been really good. Obviously, it's a no-brainer with Bex Wilson. But Sale as a whole, I think as a whole team, have been really good. Been very clinical, very good on the defence, and just unreal in attack. They've pretty much every time received the ball in hand, they've broke the game line every time.
Yeah, so impressed as well with the way they started each half, because
Hurry it up, please,
sometimes
ladies.
that's half the game plan, is just
no
making
more of
sure
this
that you come up
chit-chat,
the traps
tea-party
and
nonsense.
are up for the game from
Right,
the start.
thank you.
You put the opposition under pressure
Ten,
straight
where you are,
away,
thank you. 10.
rather than taking time
wait.
to really get set and gel into a team. Of course, at the end of the day, it matters what the score is at full time.
Stolen by
But
White.
the way that Sale have started,
Tackle!
I just feel as
Thank
though
you.
that spread
Tackle,
confidence
hands out blue.
throughout the whole team.
Yeah, definitely. And England have been
Ball! No, you
been
get the
great
floor
all
up.
game. They've been spectacular at certain points. But then they've been poor over points. It just shows where their game has come. Obviously, England definitely is. They are developing side and they are up and coming. And like I said, his team's only been together now for the last week, and they've shown real resilience against a very, very good side. And I think England should really take a lot from that. They should be proud of themselves. There has been some key performances, some great performances within it.
It's scrum, blue ball, okay? Ball taken in by White.
Yeah, a good blend of youth and experience for the England side.
You all right?
So you mentioned the likes of Gina Equiniello, who's come out of retirement for this game.
Twos in, please. Right.
And
Crouch.
she has certainly tried to
Bind.
really be that player that picks
Step.
out a pass and
Let's go 14.
is creative in trying to build the attack.
Ball's
I
out,
think
ball's
her
out.
and Molly Hustle have had a really good game. Both of them have been quite good in everything that they've done. Gina's experience is just
Ball!
unreal.
Ball!
Ciara Mills,
No, run into the knees.
obviously she's been
Ball
really good on
carrier.
set hands in ball, broke the line a good few times too.
Use it, please,
Molly
blue.
Hustle, who has really grown into the game. By the way, she has 1.4 million YouTube videos on her channel, which is pretty impressive.
I've known Molly a good few years and I didn't even know that, so that's quite a good fact.
There's your mark. Okay.
So just a few remaining minutes in this second half, with Sale, our host, leading England by 16
Twos in,
points to
please.
nothing.
Yeah, Michelle, sorted. Yeah, good. Thank you. Right. Crouch.
I think
Bind.
although obviously
No,
Sale
Michelle, no, you're
winning
not
16 points, I don't think that's a
No,
true
no, no,
reflection
no,
of
you
the
need
game.
to
It's
get
been a
ahead.
lot closer of a
hole.
game. Certainly sort of in the opening 60 minutes of the 80, it has been very, very equally matched.
Yeah, and a recap
Okay.
is probably
Crouch.
worthwhile. Amy Wallace
Bind.
scoring 2 penalties
Set.
for Sale in the first half. Then we've seen Bex Wilson
Stolen by blue.
and Sarah
Ball's out.
Methuen really press home that advantage, scoring 2 tries, and they could get another one here. And in fact, they have done. A very quick breakaway from the restart.
Yeah, that was actually quite a simple but really good run try then for Sale. I think they just capitalised maybe on a slight drop in the England heads, but you can't really sort of fault England's defence up until sort of the last sort of 20.
Yeah, well, that adds gloss to Sale's fantastic performance here today.
1861, scored by number 8, Hayley Coots.
Hayley Coots is the third name on that list of try scorers. As you said, such a simple run, a little bit of a dummy there. That last line of England defence has been so strong, so resilient, but not so on this occasion. We knew that stamina would be an important test in the latter stages, and it's Sale who've kept up that fitness. So Kiva Morris adds a couple of extra points to Sale's tally.
It's a great conversion there, but it also took the head off Sale Sharks forward Nick Dolly, who stood at the sideline watching. The conversion, the ball almost took his head off.
Hopefully it won't be a sore one in the morning. So Sale now lead by 23 points to nil.
1861-23, England 0.
Methuen, who scored the second try here this
Tackle.
afternoon,
Thank you. That's good.
charging in there.
That's all right. You're all right.
have a good blend of power and pace and agility, Sale. And some players who have all of those in their locker. Seemingly like Bex Wilson.
Leave it blue, leave it blue. Don't compete, please.
Impressive player so far. I think you said it was a no-brainer to pick her
over.
out. Sean Mills trying to charge through in the white of England. Michelle Holdsworth.
Oh, sorry, here you go.
A few Sale players needing to stop her.
Maul! It is now one. I have to have another one joining, see? Maul!
Keisha Hendricks, the prop, just defending once again, and that has paid dividends for Sale. Wilson is free on the right-hand side, but I don't think they'll need her. I believe that's Hayley Coote once again to score a 4th try of the afternoon for Sale in what has been an emphatic victory for the home side. Absolutely brilliant stuff, but exploiting what you'd have to say is a tiring England defence.
Yeah, definitely. Kath Hansel then was really great line break. As a force, she obviously is quite strong. She's been playing rugby for a long time now, Kath has. So she did really well there. Great rip, great break. England's defence just sort of slightly let themselves down, but I think a lot of it boils down to it's turning into a sort of a long afternoon for them. The heads are obviously down after to sort of getting beat by now obviously the amount of tries that they are.
Yeah, and the wind is in the sails of the host, if you'll excuse the pun. I mean, Bex Wilson was free there, but Coots just didn't need her, and she got her 2nd try of the game. And it's a bit of a case of deja vu, as Morris adds more points to the scoreline, meaning that it will finish Sale 1861-30, England 0, and well, the two players, it's been a friendly match, but it's been a very competitive one. Sale just started the first and the second half so impressively, and England tried to respond following those 2 penalties scored by Amy Wallace in the first half, but they were just unable to really be as clinical as the hosts here at the Korpak Stadium. And that's the first helping of rugby that we've had today. The first exciting game has seen Sale really open the watershed in the second half with tries from Bex Wilson, who was impressive throughout, Sarah Metwen, and then 2 in quick succession from Hayley Cootes, and she was helped out by conversion from her captain Kiva Morris, again on 2 occasions. So the England players, who Craig said had just been together for a week and tried to gel as a team. Some very promising signs for them to take. Some experienced players in that team, and some who will have also been able to build on this experience here. But it's been a real impressive show from Sale. Their fitness, their agility, their finishing, their strength. They just did not give up, despite what was quite a resilient defence for England. And I think the crowd here have seen some impressive stuff. Those who've travelled here from around the northwest to see a double-header feast of rugby today. Of course, England versus Wales to come. And let's get some pitch-side reaction at full-time with Joe.
So an impressive Sale FC 1861 triumph over a spirited England, 30 points to 0. Now the score would suggest it was all about attack, but really it was the defensive rearguard action of Sale FC in that first 40 minutes that repelled the England Def onslaught, which allowed them to exploit the tiring national side in the second half, running in 4 tries in the end. And really, Paul Kelly, who we met at half-time, that's a marquee victory for your girls.
Yeah, it's massive win. They've had a difficult season when they've been the first season. Some tough games, but that's a good win. Played really well second half, used the width well, and they got this space on the outside, scored some good tries.
Yeah, saw some great tries there, and you touched on it being your first season. So, first season, not in any leagues. You started off with a friendly against the British Police and made a pretty good showing. And as I'm led to believe, you struggled to get opposition off the back of that because local teams are a little bit intimidated.
Yeah, because when the team started, this is the first game of British Police, we thought, hold on, this could be a step too far. Particularly the first fixture, a difficult first fixture. They actually played really well, got beat in the end, but very competitive game. I think a lot of teams in the area looked at that and thought, actually, this is a good team, or could be a good team. Some of the teams in the area kind of backed away, didn't want to play friendlies. So we've had to kind of look around and scout the country a little bit more to get games, like going to Scotland to get games and get some of the Scottish teams to come down to us. But it's been good, good experience.
And games like today and showcasing it in front of a home audience as well is only going to sort of build the momentum for the side. And also locally, girls rugby across the area. I know that Trafford Girls has now kicked off as a team off the back of Sale FC having a women's side.
Yeah, so Andy Hughes is our community coach. He does a lot of work in the local schools, but on the back of that he started doing some coaching with the girls, so Flixton Girls School, he was in there. So from that he started there looking at Trafford Girls, under 13s, under 15s, and there's some, so he started coming down on Monday nights, getting good numbers, so it's looking good. And
it's a joint partnership with you and the Sale Sharks, as I understand. Where are you drawing your players from, largely?
Just two clubs in the northwest, or players in the northwest. So obviously that relationship with the Sharks helps us draw players in. But the facilities, obviously playing here at Haywood Road, the Carrington training ground. Players want to come and play. They want to use the good facilities. We've got a great coach in Steph Field, which helps as well, and she knows a lot of girls in the area, so it's good.
So these are the first steps on the road to taking your club higher, hopefully to the heights of Sale FC in Nat 1.
Yeah. Ideally, yes. We don't know what league they're going to go into next year. Ideally, we want to try and get into a higher league as we can. Obviously, higher league, better players should probably attract as well. And then from there, we have to see what happens, where we go. But it's the first season next year in the leagues. Just have to play it by ear, and hopefully have a good season and attract some good players, play some attractive rugby like we did today.
Yeah, so big things in the pipeline for Sale FC 1861's women's side, and it all kicked off here. In the first half, we had scant action to show you in terms of the highlight reel, but there were 4 tries in the second half, which we're going to take a look at here. And Craig, if you can talk us through how these came about. Got the first coming up here when the replacements made a big difference for the home side.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Bex is known Bex Wilson's known throughout sort of the women's leagues of being a fantastic sort of backs. I watched her against Crewe Nantwich tear it up. I've watched her down here, and obviously being from like sort of an athletic background, being from well, she's been an athlete for a good few years now. It just shown you give someone like that half a metre, they are gonna clean up, and that's probably where England sort of defence-wise failed. Is she just seen the space, pushed out wide, and just went for it.
Yeah, it was an important score as well, having defended for large swathes of that first half, and then to get the early score and maybe dishearten England a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think sort of your head's always gonna drop when you receive a try. And England weren't a poor side. They obviously defensively they were great, but like anything, the moment you start taking a bit of a pound and a bit of a loss, it's gonna hurt. And I think that did get the heads down of the players.
Okay, and then next up it was a try for Fanny Kiss, which we're going to hopefully see now. Yes, we are. And this was the one that really broke the back of the game.
Yeah, definitely. And it's hard to sort of obviously say, because obviously being involved in both camps, it's hard to be very one-sided on this. But just simple, it was just a simple pick and go. You work on that week in, week out. Quite often it comes off. It's quite a regular occurrence. But defensively, we probably from an England defensive point, we probably just needed to sort of be more on them edges. Put sort of your forwards on the edges and sort of just secure that sort of play. All he did was just seen a slight gap and was just clinical at that gap.
Clinical indeed. And then the icing on the cake, we'll come to you, Paul. I think you've done enough talking for one afternoon, Craig. The icing on the cake came from Hayley Coots' double at the end, which again we're going to bring up here. Simple pick up from 8, Paul, and yeah, it was time to celebrate.
Yeah, Hayley's first try was it's a simple pick up from 8, showed some good strength. Stepped outside the first tackle, then she the tackles were a little bit high, but she just kept the leg drive going and got over the line.
Excellent stuff. Well, we've got a couple of the players who featured in the game. Stefan Ratti, the England captain, and
Bex Wilson, Sale.
Yes, Bex Wilson, captain. So now, Bex, I particularly wanted to speak to you because your story is quite interesting, how you've come to rugby.
Yeah, so I was a sprinter growing up and then transferred to winter sports. I was a bobslayer for 6 years, and then we put different sports in a hat and I picked out my next one. It was rugby.
Is that actually how it happened?
Yeah, that's how it happened.
And here you are, captain of Sale FC.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're building something really great here. So we're obviously a new team this year, and we're just trying to build the phases, build the culture, and it's going really well so far. And thank you to the girls for giving us the contest while we're trying to grow the squad. Yeah,
well, women's sport and women's rugby particularly is going from strength to strength, especially in England off the back of the Six Nations Grand Slam. You're seeing quite a lot of transfer from other sports into rugby, aren't you?
Massively. I think it comes in line with the growth of women in sport and how much publicity and media that they're getting. And then you see now, you can see how athletes can transfer their skills, and the physicality can be across all sports. So everyone's sort of clued into that now and is trying to take the pickings to make a squad. But
so we're going to see a raft of bobslayers and luge and skeleton artists coming across into our game.
We've had a few go that way, actually. So yeah, there's a couple of girls that have gone across to bobsleigh and skeleton. But I think, I'm playing league as well at the moment, and we've got netballers and swimmers and footballers, and I think just the support for women's sport now just increases everyone's confidence, makes us want to play even more.
I'd imagine having all those multi-sports, all those multi-skills coming into the team, you're going to be like the Harlem Globetrotters in no time, throwing the ball around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and just talking about the game today, it was a fearsome contest out there. Both benches emptied pretty early due to the contacts. What were the opposition like today?
Oh, they were fantastic. They really tested us. I think we ran away a little bit at the end, but I think we've struggled to be challenged, and it was difficult because they were offloading the ball really well. They had some really strong carriers, so we were constantly trying to see what they were and change our tactics and work together. But it was a fantastic test. I think the scoreline doesn't really reflect the game because there were long periods of time where we weren't really going anywhere and we were up and down the pitch, so it was strong.
And what about you, Steph? First game in charge?
I was hoping for a better result, I'm not going to lie, but the girls did really well. So we've had, like you say, this is only our second 15s batch in about 18 months. We've had 5 new girls come to the squad who've just been in, so it's nice to get some game time under our belts and stuff. But these guys were spot on, really, to be fair. They gave us good as we get, enough in. They scored the quick 6 points, and actually for the rest of that half, we held them in the 22. We just wasn't clinical enough in our finishing to finish you off. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the brand of rugby that you were playing was exhilarating, actually. Plenty of offloading, some real smart hands out in the back line, but as you said, you just couldn't quite put the icing on the cake, put that cherry on top with a try.
Absolutely, and I think that just will come with more, like I say, it's five players, one of them brand new, she was only her 17th birthday yesterday, so it just comes with, like you guys, just practice, so it's nice to get out and get the girls some 15s games.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the 17-year-old because it's a nice segue into what I wanted to speak about next, which is that Sean Mills, her mother was in the second row, Gloria.
Yeah, it's great. So they play at Abbott Hill, and so Sean's actually been training with us for years. So she's been coming up with Mum, so obviously she's always only been able to play touch and that, but so to be her first cap the day after her birthday, it's pretty nice. So so they're Gloria's her coach back at home. So she's really upset actually. She's crying, bless her little heart. But she did really well, and it's a big step up. Some of us have been playing for a while. Some senior, she's coming to a senior team. 17 in one day, starting. It's pretty well. We go back to the growth of women's sport, and it is people like the girls that come around or hang around with their mums or their sisters or their or any kind of sport. There is that pathway that they can see. that's the pathway that we're also trying to provide for England Deaf.
Well, yeah, and days like this, you know, with a bit of coverage as well, is hopefully going to spread the word. And I just want to ask you specifically about women's deaf rugby. That if I'm a young girl sitting at home with like hearing disability, and I want to get involved in deaf rugby, how do I go about it? How do you pick out your pool of players for selection?
We have training. We just come to training, and then it's sort of down to the coaches. So if you are playing at home, we had a young girl came, she was playing at Cambridge, she came down to a training session we had in Ipswich because the coach got hold of me. Just, you know, we're kind of all over social media, so it's just a matter of sending a message. We instantly get back and actually invite you down, regardless really age-wise appropriate, but we've got a 14-year-old that's training with us. We want to keep that, we want to keep them in and keep that pathway open for them to be able to, you know, join. And coaches, some of the coaches, they get hold of us as well because they don't really know how to like communicate with them, so we then give advice also. So if you're out there and you want to play, just come down.
Get a hold of Steph, basically. Excellent stuff. Look, girls, I'll let you get back to your teammates. Well played to both of you today. It was a great contest out there. We love seeing you. And I'm sure we're going to see you in the stands for England Deaf Men versus Wales Deaf Men in the Broadwater Cup Challenge. Wales defeated England 29-11 earlier in the year in February in a fearsome contest, and it is the return leg and the cup is back on the plinth, ready for someone to take. We're going to be bringing you that coverage live at 3:30 right here from Sale FC, but until then we're going to go to a break and we'll see you at 3:30.
Bang!